Welcome back to Grimly Fables. What did you find this time? Let me see. Fire flowers, huh? Well, how about that? I thought this story was lost. I can't imagine where you found it. Nevertheless, I can't wait to read it for you. Most would agree that fireworks never seem to disappoint. The awe as thousands of sparks spread across the sky, followed by a loud boom that makes the heart skip a beat. But for a select few, like a boy named Ray, they dread the holidays where thousands of these miniature bombs are launched into the sky, and it sounds like spending a day on a battlefield. In just a few minutes, the sun would go down, and Ray would have to battle his inner voice telling him everything is wrong as he tries to block out the constant shockwaves. As he was trying his best to soundproof his room, he heard an inconsistent knock on the door. The door swung open, and a girl stood there. She was Ray's friend Liz, and she was visibly excited for the celebration. She was a huge fan of fire flowers, at least that is what she called them. Ray had completely forgotten that he had promised her that they would watch the fireworks together. What a dumb idea, he thought to himself. Liz waved her hand to get his attention, then pointed out the window at the spot in the grass where she wanted to watch from. Ray, insecurely, nodded and proceeded to pack a small bag with blankets and left his cover with Liz. Now they were an open battlefield. When they arrived at the spot, they unpacked and set up. Ray was now in complete panic mode. For any second now, the first bone-rattling thump could go off, triggering the start of an explosive celebration. He thought about how lucky Liz was that she couldn't hear the chaos because she was born deaf, meaning she had never heard a scary noise in her life. They've been friends for a while now. She had tried to teach him sign language, but he insisted on using his own signals that Liz was able to pick up on much quicker than he can learn sign language. Now they were all set up to watch the festival, and Liz gave 2 thumbs up to say she was ready. They both sat down, looking into the sky, one with wonder and excitement, and the other in complete fear. After just a few seconds, Liz watched as Ray's hands shot up to his ears in the sky, then filled with light just a moment later. It would be just a few seconds now. Then Ray felt a tap on his right shoulder. As he slowly raised his head and removed his hands from his ears, he saw Liz holding out her hands with 2 orange earplugs for him. She had already known that he was afraid of loud noises long before this night. He rushed to put them on just as the celebration kicked off. The booms instantly faded away, and he was only left with his thoughts and the slight vibrations from the shockwaves. Ray watched as Liz picked a daisy and slowly elevated it into the sky. It is the greatest spectacle that Ray has ever seen. Just as the daisy reached its pinnacle, a firework exploded just behind it. This is when he realized the reason she called them fire flowers. It was just like a fast-blooming flower that shined bright and faded away just as fast. With no sound, he could now enjoy the spectacle, but he couldn't help noticing that Liz was flinching every time a fire flower bloomed. Liz also noticed Ray investigating her movements, so she signed vibrations. Ray then understood. She doesn't hear scary sounds, but she can still feel them through vibrations and shockwaves. So in an instant, Liz was surprised as she was pulled under his arm and embraced from the scary feelings. Both, now blushing, sat back with now new feelings for the fire flowers and possibly for one another. It has been too long. Just remember that the scariest things in your life hide the most beauty, and know that someone else is always in the same boat, so why not give a helping hand? It could make the journey much smoother.